It was about 6 p.m. when she asked me what time I was going to work, and I was like, I'm gonna go a little bit later, and she was like, okay. I get up like 7, so I left between 7:40 to 8 p.m. And after I left home, she calls me in like about 30, 40 minutes later. So she asked me where I was, and I tell her that I was at the school because I clean a school. And but I was talking for like 20, 30, maybe 20 minutes. And then for some reason, I guess my phone was losing a signal, and I I didn't call her back, and she didn't call me back. So I wait like for 30, 40 minutes to call her back, and but by the time I was headed to Waxhaw, I was taking 485, and I was talking to her, and she told me that one of my sisters in Guatemala, she talked to her, and she would, and then she told me to call her back, and I said yeah. That, so I told her that I was gonna hang up the phone. I was gonna call my sister, and she said okay. But when I called my sister, she didn't answer the phone, so I called her back, my wife, about 2, 3 minutes after I was talking with her when I was driving, and then when I got to the clinic at Waxhaw, I told her that I was already got to the building, and I tell her that I was going to call her back, or she would call me back. I was gonna hurry to finish and go back home, and she say okay. Look, that was like about 10, and then about 11, my sister, the one that lives at the house, she calls me because I have a brother-in-law. He just got here, so she calls me about the job to see if I was going to find him something. So I said, well, we will see what kind of job we're going to find for him. She said, okay. By the time when I was online with my sisters, my wife, she calls me, but the first call, I didn't answer the call. She calls me on WhatsApp too, but I didn't answer the call. So she calls back. The second time I answered the call, and I tell her that I was online with my sister, and she said, "Okay, call me back when you finish." I said, "I will." And then when I finished, talk to my sister. Like 2, 3 minutes later, I called her, and I was on the phone with her. When she mentioned something like, if I heard something from the house, I said no. And she said, "Oh, the smoke detector alarm it started sounding." I was like, and I asked her to go, and I asked her if maybe she left something on the microwave, or they left the stove on or something. And she said no, she haven't used the stove since earlier, and microwave she said she didn't left anything. So I was like, well, anyway, go out and check it. So I guess when she get up, open the room's door to go out, I just heard when she started screaming. She calls my sister, Letty, get up, the house is on fire. And I don't know if she hung up the phone or she just threw it on the floor or something. And after that, I don't hear anything. So I call on her number. I called my sister's numbers. Nobody's answered the phone. So I called 911. But I was in Waxhaw. The call went through to Junior County. And then, but the operator transferred the call to Charlotte. And they asked me the address. I gave them the address, but I guess it was too late when they got there. So when I got there, it was like almost 12 o'clock. My little girl, they was already taken. The baby, they was already taken. The 7 years old, they was already taken. The only one was still there. It was Lionel, the 10 years old, and my wife. They take him the last person to the emergency room. But now they in critical condition. 10 years old. He died yesterday morning. My 2 years old daughter, she died last night, and I'm still waiting for the 3 month. But they said it's not the main option. They doing the best they can do. They don't see if he's gonna make it. It's same as my wife. She's very sick, so since she's in there, the doctors or even myself, I'm just staying with her.
Have you had a chance to talk to your wife at all since she's been?
She can't talk. She can't even move because they said her heart was stopped working for like 30 minutes. I guess that's what the doctor says. And when that happened, she cannot get blood in her brain. So actually, when they say when she got here, her heart was stopped working. So they bumped it and all that, and then she come back, and like 2-3 times her heart stopped working. But since then, now it's her heart is bumping, but I don't see any reaction. I don't know. The I'm trying to figure out what happened. But they was mentioned about the candles in the house, but I know it's not where the causing problem comes. The only thing that I guess is the power. It should be a power switch or power line. Get shocks, and that's the one causing the problem. Because when my brother was home, he said he smelled something like, the wires when it's burning. Yeah, something electrical smell. And she told my wife like something was burning, and she said, "No, I didn't smell nothing." And then he comes back. He said, "Yeah, something is burning," but she didn't. She said, "Well, I didn't smell anything." And then she get up and she walking in the hallway and living room. She didn't notice anything, but obviously because the wires and all this covered with the wool. So I mean,
I don't know how long you've been here in this country, but you and your family.
well, I've been here for like 20 years, and she's been here for 17 years. All our kids, they born here. Then I'm just,
Came to make a better way
yeah,
and live out
live out,
dream.
have my kids
And this
have the better things. But now I'm just kind of lose everything. I don't know if she's going to make it or not. I'm just confused. I don't know what to do. I've been walking in each room where they are. I wish to stay with my wife, stay every minute, but I have to go see my kids too. I've been walking all day, all night, seeing them, but I don't see anything that shows that any change. The only thing I know, the doctor saying they pretty bad. They are sick. So, I don't know what else to tell.